Hello, everyone. In this class, let's learn about nacelle hoisting together. The main contents include an overview of the nacelle, unloading and storage of the nacelle, and installation before hoisting of the nacelle. 1. Nacelle overview. The nacelle mainly consists of the transmission system, yaw system, as well as some supporting connection components and auxiliary equipment. The main components and accessories include the nacelle platform, nacelle crane, nacelle cabinet, nacelle heater, vibration sensor, axial flow fan, air cooling system, etc. 2. Unloading and storage in the nacelle. Preparations for the placement site. Because the nacelle is transported together with the nacelle transportation tooling. Therefore, when choosing a site, simply select a flat, solid, and sufficiently large ground according to the layout diagram of the site. The nacelle should be within the lifting radius of the crane. The ground where the cabin is placed should have enough space for the transport vehicle to drive away. Selection of nacelle cranes. From the perspectives of the weight, safety and ease of installation of the nacelle are important. When unloading, just select a crane of the appropriate tonnage based on the weight of the engine room. Installation of the unloading gear for the engine room. The unloading workers in the engine room climbed into the top of the engine room through the bottom lifting opening. Remove the transport packaging. Remove the upper cover plate of the hanging pile. The sling extends into the lifting lug. Tie 2 guiding ropes to the transportation tooling. Be careful when installing the unloading gear in the nacelle. Prevent bumping into the facilities and equipment inside the nacelle. The lifting gear must be reliably connected. The sling must not interfere with the equipment. Nacelle unloading. The lifting gear was installed, and the personnel left the nacelle. Keep the transport tooling under the nacelle, and lift the crane slowly. The person standing on the ground holds 2 guiding ropes. Pull the nacelle to the destination and then lower it slowly. Remove the guiding ropes, slings and shackles and other lifting equipment. Separate the crane from the nacelle and return it to standby. The hoisting cover plate of the nacelle is closed. Nacelle storage. Accurately locate the nacelle. Place heavy sleepers under the nacelle hood transport frame to disperse concentrated pressure. Reduce the ground unit load. At the same time, the lower part of the nacelle hood transport frame can be lifted off to prevent water accumulation during stormy weather, which should cause local water accumulation on the ground and damage the nacelle. The current packaging scheme is the whole package, as shown in the figure. It is to prevent the outer surface from being damaged when stored outdoors, and to avoid direct sunlight and rain. Prevent rainwater and dust from entering the nacelle. Special attention should be paid to protecting the end face of the locking disc, to prevent rainwater from entering the main shaft, and sound from being blown into the yaw system part. 3. Installation before the nacelle hoisting. The cleaning before hoisting is shown in the figure. Remove the engine hood and the transport protection cover. After demolition, they will be uniformly recycled and reused. Check if there are any stains on the surface of the hood. If there are any stains, you can use a cloth or kerosene to clean them. Check whether the outer surface of the nacelle hood is damaged. If any repair is carried out. Pre-installation of the front hoisting cover plate. Install the upper arc-shaped cover plate of the engine hood onto the engine hood. Align the installation holes properly. Connect and tighten with bolts, lock nuts, and large washers. Secure it firmly with a wrench. Flip the gearbox air cooling cover plate through the hinge and gently place it on the arc-shaped cover plate. Installation of conventional anemometer masts and anemometers. Insert the installation accessories of the anemometer and wind vane into the installation frame of the wind measurement mast in sequence. The installation holes on the installation frame are simultaneously inserted into the anemometer cable. When installing and fixing the anemometer, apply an appropriate amount of sealant to the installation joint surface. Apply thread fastening adhesive to the threads of the fastening bolts. Finally, tighten the bolts. After the anemometer and wind vane are fixed, pass the cable through the cable waterproof joint on the same side of the upper section of the main square pole of the wind measurement mast, and it passes through the middle hole of the square steel. A flange is installed at the bottom of the wind measurement mast. After the cable arrangement is completed, lock the waterproof connector of the cable. The installation process of the wind measurement mast is shown in the figure. The installation of ultrasonic anemometer masts and their anemometers. Fix the ultrasonic anemometer and wind vane at the upper end of the square bamboo with an Allen bolt and a flat washer. Install the self-provided cold shrink sleeve at the junction between the cable connector of the ultrasonic anemometer and the cable. Pass the cable of the ultrasonic anemometer and wind vane through the cable waterproof connector on the upper section of the square steel at the lower part of the wind measurement mast, and install the flange at the bottom of the wind measurement mast along the middle hole of the square steel. Lock the waterproof connector of the cable. Installation of aviation lights. The aviation light cables have been installed and wired in the workshop. On-site installation. Lead out the signal lines and power lines of the aviation lights from inside the nacelle through the openings at the installation points. Tighten the connecting bolts of the aviation light and seal them. After installation is completed, the remaining cables are fixed with cable ties in the nacelle below the aviation lights. The above is all about unloading and storage in the nacelle. I hope everyone can consolidate their studies. This concludes the content of this class. Thank you all.